First, Derek Carr made a bunch of mistakes that cost the team big time. I'm willing to forgive the last interception since he needed to take risks. The first interception was a woefully underthrown ball to Jared Cook. Cook had a mismatch and Carr took advantage over and over. Then in the red zone, Carr underthrew the ball, giving it back to the Rams after being in the red zone. Next, with the chance to get back into the game, Carr threw an unexplainable pick. He lofted a total lollipop right into the hands of the linebacker. No idea what he saw or was thinking. Carr single-handedly cost his team a chance to win, and maybe a 10-point swing. For whatever reason, the Raiders got away from the running game. The key to the Raiders offense is to run behind the monster offensive line and loosen things up for the passing game. It'd be one thing if it wasn't working, but it totally was. Lynch was consistently getting 3 or 4 yards, and everyone knows how the running game works. It gets better as the game wears on. It worked beautifully the first few series, then was completely abandoned for no reason. Gruden is known for running the ball, and for some reason went away from it when it was needed most. At number 3, after all the talk about Amari Cooper being the centerpiece of the passing game and Jordy Nelson having great speed, the Raiders didn't even look at them. Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters are 2 elite cornerbacks and shut them out. Derek Carr didn't even bother. At some point, you have to take your chances and at least get them involved in the game. The end around to Amari Cooper was nice, but he has to be involved in the game plan. Some nice screens, some deep shots, or even some jump balls just to keep the defense honest is needed. Overall for the offense, it looked a lot like last year's offense. Running game that works under center, a shotgun passing offense with 5-yard routes with nothing in between. There was no play action. Derek Carr is not a high completion quarterback. He's best at attacking the defense deep down the field. His yards per attempt must be high. The 5 yards quick passing offense worked in the first half. Then, as expected, Wade Phillips and the defense adjusted and the Raiders had no answers. The Raiders offense was expected to be better than last year, but so far it looks exactly the same. This isn't to say everything offensively was bad. Jared Cook balled out. He's a walking mismatch, and the Raiders took advantage time and time again. Amari Cooper and Jordy Nelson weren't even looked at, and the Rams knew where the ball was going, and Cook still had a big game. The offensive line was able to hold off Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald relatively well. The interior was able to get the running game going, and the tackles were okay. Miller and Penn need more practice, but this is about as good a start as you can get given that it's week 1. Now for the defense. Man, do they need pressure on the quarterback. Outside of Irvin's 1 strip sack, Jared Goff had all day. He stood back there and was able to scan the field and take his sweet time. Hell, he could have sat there, had a cup of coffee, watched a movie, then see who was open. The interior pass rush from Hall and Hurst was nowhere to be seen. In fairness, the Rams have one of the better offensive lines, but still, this was pathetic. The Raiders have no pass rush and really missed Khalil Mack. A positive is that the secondary looked a lot better than last year. More specifically, they were a lot stickier in coverage. Last year's defense would easily be 5 yards off the receiver. The main problem was the receivers wouldn't turn their head down the field, causing a pass interference. The corners were in proper coverage and position and knew what to do. They just needed to turn around and prevent the pass interference call. Also, the Raiders had chances to get some turnovers only for the ball to fall right through the hands. It's better than last year, but still needs to improve. This isn't good or bad, but Todd Gurley played as expected against the Raiders. The Raiders held him off in the first half, but he hammered away in the second half. As expected, the Raiders defense could not hold up and the holes started opening up. The Raiders defense of Todd Gurley went just as expected. The problem was the Raiders needed to control the time of possession and limit his touches. It worked in the first half, but completely fell apart in the second half. Overall, this team faced an elite Super Bowl contender and wasn't in that class. This Raiders team just isn't talented enough. They're good enough to compete for a playoff spot, but certainly not good enough to win it all. Derek Carr just isn't in that elite class of quarterbacks, and the talent around him isn't there to take him over the top. The talent just isn't there despite the amount of veterans, and a team like the Rams showed just how much better they are overall. With all that said, not every team the Raiders play will be nearly as good and talented as the Rams. Luckily, the Raiders play in the AFC where the competition is wide open. The Patriots and Steelers are the top 2 teams, and maybe the Jaguars at number 3, but I don't trust Blake Bortles. After that, the teams that make the playoffs are anybody's game. I think the AFC West will be won by the Chiefs, but the defense isn't good enough to win it all. This loss was to an elite NFC team, and hopefully the team can learn from this and produce.